Hello, everybody. What's up? And welcome to the 16th episode of Raptors and Wine. So, guys, the game that we had earlier against the Cleveland Cavaliers at home, man, that was a stinger of a loss. And you know what? Uh, we gotta learn how to play with the lead. We gotta learn how to play with the lead, play the full 48 minutes. Just because you're winning, just because you're in the lead in the fourth quarter in the dying minutes doesn't mean you start, having mental lapses and being careless with the ball and not fighting enough. You gotta be desperate for that W. But having said that, I have faith in this team. They're gonna turn it around. I gotta say though, there was definitely a glaring weakness in this game, and it's become apparent to me for the past, man, I don't know, I gotta say for the past few games here, arguably the past 6 or 7 games. We have a weakness in the center. Yes, it was obvious that we had a weakness in the center even before the season started. We were outsized. We don't have a quote unquote true center. We definitely miss Serge Ibaka and his contributions in the center. We definitely miss Marc Gasol's contributions in the center position. But again, Marc Gasol, aging star, when he left, yes, it kind of sucked because he was good at ball movement and defending Joel Embiid. But it's okay. It was all good. We still had Serge. Now the thing with Serge, yeah, his loss, we definitely feel it. I gotta say, I had some hopes with Precious. He was looking good. He looked good in the summer league. Granted, summer league it's mostly first and second years playing each other. But yeah, he looked good. He looked good in the summer league. He looked promising in the preseason. And the first 2 or 3 games of the season too, he was consistent with his performance. But then something happened, and from the games that I've been watching him since he started struggling, I've noticed one thing. It's not that he is not putting in the effort. I think it's all in his head at this point. He needs to get out of his head. If he's overthinking it, he needs to start to just let the game come to him. I feel like I sense that he's pressing. He's pressing. He's trying to make things happen. He's feeling the pressure, and I feel like maybe it's the pressure of starting, and maybe perhaps maybe we could have Kem Birch start instead, if that's going to help him and his game coming off the bench. It doesn't mean he has to have lesser minutes. I just feel like maybe starting is, putting the pressure on him, and because of that, he's starting to play uncharacteristically. There are a few things that he's doing, like he's pressing the issue, and when he's pressing the issue, it's like, he's crashing the boards, but then he's trying to make things happen on his own. And with 2 or 3 defenders in the paint, with that, just kick the ball out. Kick the ball out, wait for that opportunity, maybe even wait for a one-on-one favorable match. Sometimes, I can see it, like he was going against centers who were clearly bigger than him. And sometimes even going against centers as well as other players in the paint, and he was trying to score over them. And I'm like, no, buddy. Gotta have a cerebral game, especially with your size at the center position. You gotta be more cerebral. Yes, you are strong, but you're not always going to beat the height. You're not, especially in the paint. So yeah, Precious. Yeah, man. I still have faith in Precious. I still think that he can turn it around. He just needs to get out of his head. He just needs to let the game come to him. He needs to maybe start to accept his role. And I feel like this coaching staff, I don't know, man. Like if I've noticed it, you guys are professionals. You guys have probably noticed it too, that he's not playing the way that he was playing back in the summer league and the preseason and even the first few games of the season. So something's up. You got to fix it. You got to let him, let him know his role, and try to talk him out of playing. Try to talk him out of pressing the issue. Okay, and I think he can be a productive center. Now I'm gonna talk about Chris Boucher. Oh, he has so much potential. It's a shame. It's a shame to see how he's playing. With him being a veteran, him playing the way he's played the past 3 seasons, and the way he played during the championship run, his contributions on the defensive end, on the offensive end, his fearlessness when he's taking a shot. I loved his characteristic and his game. It was fresh because typically players, especially if they want more minutes, they're gonna do exactly what the coach tells them to do. And it's not to say that he doesn't do exactly what the coaches tell him to do, but sometimes he takes some shots, some risks, and like for example, pull up threes. I mean, come on, right? But that's just his style. That's just his game. And when he makes them, it's kind of like the leash starts to get a little looser. I feel like this time around, he's been taking some ill-advised shots again, like not playing. I mean, I get it. That's just his personality, but he's gotta play within his lane now. Now he's a veteran, and I don't know. Maybe it's that middle finger injury there that is still bothering him. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he needs to contribute. And I'm not talking just offensively. If your offensive game is not working, and the same principle applies to Precious as well. If your offensive game is not working, you got to impact the game in other ways. I got to say though, Precious is doing that more than Chris is, and that's why he's staying on the court longer than Chris is. Chris needs to start doing that. Yes, he's impacting the game with his defense, but at the same time, I feel like maybe he could move the ball around a little more. Stop taking those ill-advised shots. If you take those ill-advised shots, you're not going to see more than 10 minutes on the floor every game, like you have been for the past few games. So get out of your head. You're not all that. You could be, but you're not all that just yet. So just listen to the coaching staff and you will see more minutes. I feel like if Pascal comes back into the rotation, maybe it might help their games. I don't know. Because, again, I have yet to see Pascal's game, and I feel like there will definitely be some rust, especially from coming back from his shoulder injury, and maybe there'll be a little bit of apprehensiveness to his game too, maybe not as aggressive, because again, when you come off of a shoulder injury like that and surgery, you're going to be a little careful. You're going to feel out the game. You're going to start doing things kind of uncharacteristic, as in you're going to start taking more jump shots. You're going to start taking more three-pointers instead of driving the lane. What works for you? Especially because you are one of the quickest players at your position in the league. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe Pascal's presence will help Precious and Chris to flourish. Speaking of apprehensiveness, I could see that in Precious's game. Before he was being more confident with his jump shot. He was being more confident with his three-pointers. This time around, it was glaringly obvious. The centers of the opposing teams, when he gets that ball on the perimeter, they just leave him wide open, like as if he's Ben Simmons or something. Whew, yeah, man. You gotta get some confidence in your jump shot. And I feel like, yes, he's working on it, but that will come when he starts to hit one or two, and hopefully he starts to have some good games coming up. And if he does, maybe that should help him. I really hope that helps him, because we need his Precious and Chris. They both have potential. I did not imagine for them to be struggling the way they are. I honestly thought that they would be contributing and offensively for sure in a lot of ways, but it's not happening. But again, it's still early. We've only played 10 games. It is all good, guys. Let's try to go step into the right direction now. Especially Chris, I don't want to see you play only 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 7 minutes. something ridiculous like that. No, I want to see you play like at least more, definitely more than 15 minutes a game. All right, you have the potential to make that impact. Let's do it. Convince the coaching staff. So that's it from me, guys. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Should we, will Ken Precious and Chris get back on track, or should we make a deal for a true center? I don't know. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and definitely subscribe to the channel if you like my content, that is. If not, you know, you can just comment too. It's all good. And that's it for me, guys. Until next time, adios, muchachos.